She fucks a lot, actually. She fucks so hard that she literally went to the national prayer breakfast for the biggest virgin running and straight up said, I was, my premarital fiance wanted to fuck me this morning.
Source tonight with one of the Republicans who voted to remove Kevin McCarthy from the speaker's role. Congresswoman Nancy Mace of South Carolina joins me now. Congresswoman, first, I want to give you the opportunity tonight to respond directly to McCarthy's criticism of you during this exhaustive press conference that he had last night after you voted to oust him.
Nancy Mace is a whole nother story.
It's kind of crazy that Nancy Mace is literally like a bisexual, on the record, bisexual swinger. And that doesn't get a lot of coverage. At least like bi-curious swinger, let's say. Being serious? Man, Google Nancy Mace. I'm going to need a source on that. Straight up, Google Nancy Mace. Like improper video or something. I don't know. Problem with Nancy Mace is that you're going to watch the video and you're going to say, oh, this doesn't make any sense. That's not Nancy Mace, because she has that Seinfeld syndrome, the woman with two faces, where she literally looks so different in different lighting. So when you see her in the video, swapping spit and tequila shots from the mouth of a very butch lesbian and then trading it off with someone else, you're going to be like, oh, there's no way that's Nancy Mace. It literally is. She has spoken about it, but it doesn't really matter because it doesn't look like her because she looks so different in different photos, in different lighting.
Okay. Let's just be honest here. I called Nancy Mace's chief of staff yesterday. And because I called the chief of staff? Well, she was on The View saying I didn't keep my words. I called her chief of staff because
that's Nancy Mace. That's a butch lesbians for Trump. That's like a butch lesbian power lifter for Trump. Y'all wanted it, motherfucker. What you thought in the real world swingers look like what you jerk off to on Pornhub? Is that what you thought? This is what swingers look like in the real world, chat. Fuck you mean? People literally think like, oh, polyamorous polycules are supposed to look like everyone's like a model. No, they all polycules, if you're in a blue area, look the same. They all wear gauges. They're all fucking vegan and possibly furry. There has to be a furry in every fucking polycule. Many of them are anarchists. And in red areas, this is what polyamory looks like. I'm sorry to break away from your immersion. Anyway, get back to Nancy, who looks very different here, as you noticed.
I don't know, maybe I don't connect her with someone else, but I just said to him, I said, can you please tell me? I don't understand. Where have I not kept my word? You know what our chief of staff said? You have kept your word, 100%. But if you have a problem with the bill, I want to help you. But I can't sit there and write your entire bill and work it all the way through committee.
Congresswoman, he is essentially suggesting that you were lying when you said he did not keep his word. What's your response?
Drama.
Well, number one, I would like to know why he called my staff rather than talk to me directly. And I'm very familiar with how to write a bill. Women in Congress can draft, write, file, and pass legislation. And so the facts are on our side. I was very public about what kind of deals and negotiations and legislation that he would back and support me on throughout the entirety of this year. That's all a matter of public record, including the timing of those pieces of
Why aren't you saying it then? Just say which ones they are. Jesus Christ, you're so fucking annoying. I can't believe I'm like siding with Kevin McCarthy now.
legislation. And to date, none of those things actually came true. And so my focus today is to focus on the future, to focus on the opportunity here that we have.
Everyone's a liberal. She literally hit the girl boss line. She's like, women can do legislation too. It's like, yeah, dude, no one said you can't. Well, the people that say you can't are, you know, on your party.
We have as a party, as a country, to come together and find a speaker who will tell the truth, find a speaker who will be honest and keep their word, because you can't tell conservatives one thing, tell moderates another, tell Democrats something else. That's not leadership, and that's not building consensus if you tell everybody different things. And so we have a lot of work to do. We've got to roll up our sleeves, and I'm very much looking forward to the speaker's race next week. I will meet with every candidate that throws their hat in the ring. This is a real opportunity for us to do what we said we were going to do. We promised a budget and 12 separate spending bills. We promised to be responsible with taxpayer dollars, and this is our opportunity to show that kind of leadership next week.
Yeah, I mean, he even said that he would give your chief of staff a job if he got fired over those comments of what McCarthy said. I mean, have you spoken to your chief of staff? Have you cleared up what they actually told
my
Kevin
chief
McCarthy?
My chief and I were drinking last night. He had a beer, I had a glass of wine at Bull Feathers on First Street last night, and we're just fine. I didn't hear the conversation, and to me, it doesn't really matter what words were exchanged. He did not reach out to me, and I want to look forward. I want to bring people together, bring the party together, and find a leader that we can all get behind, do what we told the American people, pick a speaker that will keep their word, because at the bare minimum, that's what we should be doing for.
Oh, she fucks, yeah. She fucks a lot, actually. She fucks so hard that she literally went to the national prayer breakfast for the biggest virgin running and straight up said, I was, my premarital fiance wanted to fuck me this morning, and I told him, you know, we can fuck later. That's also another real Nancy Mace story.
This together, another year, another standing room only event. And when I woke up this morning at 7, I was getting picked up at 7:45. Patrick, my fiance, tried to pull me by my waist over this morning in bed, and I was like, no, baby, we don't got time for that this morning. I got to get to the prayer breakfast.
She's so wild for that. Like, it's funny because, like, if she's not doing this at the national prayer breakfast, and if she's not a fucking psychotic Republican, that's cool as fuck that she's just, like, openly talking about her sex life like this. It's, like, very positive. You know what I mean? But when you realize that she's doing this at the fucking prayer breakfast for Timothy motherfucking Scott, who is famously a virgin.
And I got to be on time, and a little TMI, but he can wait. I'll see him later tonight. But I was here early.
After this disturbing.
She said he can wait. I'll fuck and suck you later tonight. Understand something here. They're not married, chap. They're not fucking married. You can't say that at the prayer breakfast. Like, I know a lot of, a lot of you atheism Andes, a lot of you oh my science Andes in the chat don't understand that. But, like, you know, some of these people would care about that sort of thing. They'd be like, what the fuck are you saying? It's crazy that she said it's a little TMI, yeah, and then followed up with, but I'm going to fuck him later.
For the American people.
Well, your bill on the backlog.
Okay, I'm not going to lie. I fucking absolutely love making fun of atheists, dude. I do. Y'all are so funny. It's the most like low stakes thing to make fun of. And you get so butthurt. Like, you just carry that burden around, dude. You carry it harder than fucking Catholics do. That guilt and that shame. Oh my God. It's fine, we suck. Okay, but you don't have to suck while it's saying we suck. Bro, every atheist in the chat turns into like a fedora whisperer the moment that I start making fun of atheists. It's actually made it more fun for me to like make fun of than shitting on anarchists who never shower. Wait, what is the fuck? Wait, hold on. Atheists can be just as belligerent as conservative Christians. Oh, wait, hold on. Someone said atheist when you say bless you instead of peer-reviewed studies you. Oh, that's such a... That's probably a classic joke. I've never encountered it before, though. Oh, that's so funny. Especially with the bat chesting and the anger emoji. See, he's doing it. He's doing the role. Lamau, yeah. We are the bad ones because we don't believe in make-believe deities like Thor and Jesus and Allah. You're doing it. They're doing it. Oh, it's so good. I hope it just stays at this level, though, because, you know, this does sometimes take a dark turn when I start making fun of atheists. And at first it's like cute, right? At first it's cute, and then it turns into like incredibly racialized forms of discrimination, like in very specific ways. Like, oh, why don't you go back to Muhammad, who's a pedophile, who loves having sex with like 12-year-olds or whatever the fuck. And then you're like, okay, dude, like, Jesus Christ, we can't even have fun here. You have to. The fact that Alyssa Thor is not helping him beat the Redditor accusations. Yeah, I know. This is careening towards atheists are just as oppressed as, yeah, well, that's why it's funny. You can make fun of us, atheists, all you want, but for the love of science, don't put us in the same category as anarchists. Oh, did you see this? Speaking about religion, yesterday's U.S. emergency alert caused several Amish people to be shunned by exposing them for owning phones. An ex-Amish man on TikTok has shared that a few current members of the Amish were shunned after the U.S. emergency alert went off on phones they had smuggled into the community. Atheists with no empirical evidence in the room on their deathbed. There are no atheists in foxholes, okay? There are none. Because they're all too busy watching the top of the hour ad break. That's right. Praying to God is not going to save you from the top of the hour ad break. But what will save you is subscribing for $5 or for free. You can also get gifted a sub if you're lucky. Here is the 3-minute ad break now. Science, save me from this ad break. Yeah. Oh, my science. All right, let's get back to Nancy Mace.
Of rape kits in the U.S. It has gotten out of committee. It has not gotten a full floor House vote. I mean, the question, though, is do you think that whoever is the next speaker, be it Jim Jordan, Steve Scalise, anyone else who can actually get to 218, will be more moderate than McCarthy?
I think that the most important thing is that we get someone who's going to be honest, who will keep their word. And if we say we're going to follow the law, there's a law from 1974, the Budget Impact and Control Act, that says we're supposed to have a budget. We're supposed to have 12 separate up or down spending bills. That's good for the country. It's also good for both sides of the aisle, because leadership will often, as you know, Caitlin, they skirt the law. They do these CRs and the omnibuses. They don't want to give the power back to the people. A select few, the most powerful, have all the say. And they take that power away from the people when they avoid the law, when they avoid doing those spending bills. When we do those bills, they're vetted through committee. They're vetted with amendments. Both sides get to have a say in the amendment process before they're voted on. You have time to read them. And it's a full House process. That is how the Constitution works, and it's good for everybody. And that's not an unreasonable sort of ask. And I'm, of course, advocating for women's issues. I'm advocating for responsible governance and oversight, things that make a lot of sense to everybody on both sides of the aisle.
Yeah, because of your vote, are you concerned that you'll be expelled from the Republican conference or kicked off your committees?
Well, it's certainly the 8 of us that voted this way. I mean, if you want to have the gavel, if you want to move forward united, you're going to need our votes. And I think if we look backward and punish people based on their principles, that's only going to further divide our conference. We have a lot of work to do. We promised the American people we would deliver results, and we need to do that. I don't judge my colleagues for their votes or for what their values are or their principles are. And I've always said, Caitlin, I've said it on your show, I am willing to work with anyone who's willing to work with me, period.
So you're not worried about it?
And that means moving the ball forward. I am not today.
That's so... I mean, her answer is literally that, yes, she is worried about it. She said, I hope they don't look at my past. Let's move on. I did what I did. It's like, why the fuck would they not do that? How stupid are you? Dude, I am literally shredding the ranks the moment. I'm taking you off of committee positions. You're fucking done. You're so done. I'm doing the House Ethics Committee investigation into Matt Gaetz for pedophilia. Like, all of that. If I'm a Republican, if I'm a part of the Republican Party, I'm subtly pushing first the National Review and those other like institutional Republican Party outlets to reconsider whether Nancy Mace is too promiscuous. Okay? I'm throwing feelers out there. I'm getting them to write articles about the prayer breakfast thing that she said and the sex video out there of her kissing someone. Then I'm starting a rumor with like a Breitbart style outlet that has even less journalistic standards that she's fucking her chief of staff. Okay? I'm relying heavily on misogynistic tendencies that my voters have and the readers have. And I'm punishing her. And then I'm launching a primary opponent in her district next time she's up for election. She's done. It's over.
Today, I mean, they can do what they want to do. I've been in a lot of fights. I was the first woman to graduate from the Citadel, the Military College of South Carolina. I am not afraid of standing on principle and my values. And I will say, Caitlin, the establishment is coming after me. I've had a lot of threats about my fundraising. I'm asking people to go to my website at nancymace.org to help me.
Bro, she literally did this so she could do this. You know what I mean? Because there's no immediate benefit to it. There's no like organized principle behind this action. And it's actually kind of unceremonious of the Republicans to do such a thing. That's why they're in such a state of disarray, in my opinion. But The ranks will be punished. Okay? They will draw up every single person that disrupted their process, and they will punish them. On CNN, liberals would donate to her. I think she's just trying to get anyone and everyone to donate to her. The lady with the swingers VidCon has a different body. No, I'm telling you, dude. She was also married, I think. I remember looking into her background. I think she was like, was she married to a gay husband? Like, I think she had a beard. And then her current husband is also, I think, a beard too. I think he was bald, not gay. Was it? Anyway, I don't really remember. She is a beard? No, but she also had a beard, like a mutual beard. I don't know what it is for like a bisexual woman to hide their bisexuality. I don't know what the proper term would be. Anyway, whatever. It was what else? What else would I do? I would just say that she's promiscuous. You know what I mean?
To show their support, because there are folks that are coming after me tonight.
I'm glad you brought that up, because back in January, when there were the marathon votes for Kevin McCarthy to get this job, he was fighting to take the gavel. This is something that you said.
Mm-hmm. Matt Gaetz is a fraud. Every time he voted against Kevin McCarthy last week, he sent out a fundraising email. What you saw last week was a constitutional process diminished by those kinds of political actions.
Of course, now here we are in October. You and Congressman Gaetz are in agreement on at least ousting McCarthy. You were on a podcast together today. You yourself have been fundraising off that vote. How do you explain that to now?
Yeah. I mean, it's Jover. She's like a Steve Bannon cutout.
Well, I have not been fundraising off of this every step of the way. I made my decision last night. I made the decision to fundraise over the last 24 hours because of the threats that I have received over fundraising and money drying up, which is why I need help. The establishment is coming after me. I've gotten a lot of threats from different groups and different members that they will withhold fundraising no matter what. And I do need help from the people. And that was a decision that I made late last night because of everything that was going on. And it is a genuine ask. And if people want to support the effort, they can go to nancymace.org.
Well, that podcast was one that...
It's like the hypnotist from the other night, chat. If you don't believe me, go to hypnosis.com.
is done by Steve Bannon. Of course, you once voted to hold him in contempt of Congress, which he brought up today. Mm-hmm. Is he
.org.
Now advising you?
No, nobody. I mean, I have consultants, but he is not one of them. I often will make my decisions on my own volition. I don't take pressure from the outside world or outside groups generally. I'm not beholden to anyone anywhere, not in D.C. I'm only beholden to the people. And I make decisions on legislation, on votes generally on my own.
But overall, when you look at what you were saying in January, if someone looks at what you said then, what you say now, and if a critic says that you're being hypocritical of that, how do you respond to them?
I'm taking it from all sides right now. And because of the threats that I've been receiving over the last couple of weeks, it finally reached a point last night where I was like, you know what? I'm going to let people that know that I need help and communicate that. This was not a calculated decision. This was a decision based on the threats that I've been receiving in the last 3 or so weeks from fellow members.
Okay, I do feel like she farms a little bit, I think. I don't understand. Don't you just love, I'm not beholden to anyone, but also they're threatening to take my funding. And also, no, I'm not trying to fundraise off of this, but go to my campaign site .org. She hasn't said a single fucking thing that makes, like, there's no clarity or coherence here. There's no consistency here. Also, she's fucking farming CNN watchers and this goddamn community. You motherfuckers are already maxing out to her after her talking about how she's taking it from all ends. Stop.
From different groups around Washington and around the country. And I got to stand up and defend myself, defend my vote. And it takes money to do that. And people can help me if they go to nancymace.org.
So you don't think it's hypocritical that you criticized someone like the congressman for fundraising off of his fight against McCarthy back in January, but you're fundraising off of after casting your vote last night to boot McCarthy from his job?
I waited until after that vote. Some people might call it that. I'm calling it the truth and what is actually going on. And this was not a politically calculated decision. I didn't make this vote for political reasons. I did it out of principle because I felt this is the right move for the country. I want us to follow the law. I want us to be responsible.
Wait, is that when I talked about her porn thing? No, right? October 5th at 3:43. Bro, y'all are disgusting, dude. You need to stop. All right, look, past 7 days, like, it won't be that high. Okay, thank God. Yeah, past 7 days, it won't be that high because she's been getting, like, nonstop coverage since she was one of the 8. But, like, literally, if you look at the past day. Okay, good. This is not that bad. The Coomers in here are not that bad. It's nowhere near as bad as like this blip normally under different circumstances. If we had worse gooners, this would be peaking. I'm nutting. The moment that I brought it up.
With spending, but that has come, I have learned in a very raw way over the last 24 hours that comes.
Related inquiries. Okay, there's nothing bad there. I did say Google it.
With severe consequences.
Are you getting a lot of backlash for that vote?
I am getting backlash from everywhere right now, but I'm also getting a lot of support. But, you know, I've had folks call and hang up on me today. I've been cursed out. Someone dropped an F-bomb on me when I made the vote last night. You could hear the gasp on the floor for standing up for what I believe in. But I've learned in a very lonely way that standing up for principle can also sometimes be a little painful.
What do you believe in? Like, what do you believe in? I don't understand. That's the funniest part about this entire process is that there's no real reason as to why Republicans did this. Like the Gang of 8 did that.
Painful and quite lonely. I've learned that very quickly in the last 24 hours.
When it comes to who is going to be the next speaker, one thing that we've heard from some members, Republicans, is that they want to reform this whole motion to vacate, that it can be one vote, as we saw, to move to oust the speaker. Do you think that should stay a House rule?
It should stay as a House rule. I mean, this has been a House rule. This has been precedent for over 100 years until Nancy Pelosi changed the House rules when she was in charge. But by and large, this has been around for over 100
Yeah, she went boss mode with it.
100 years, rarely used, and there is precedent in the House for having it as a rule. And again, this was a commitment that was made earlier this year. And from my perspective, I care about women's issues, I care about balancing the budget, and I care about following the law and following our rules. And it's been around for a very long time, and we should keep it.
Do you think it's ridiculous when some of your colleagues are floating the idea of Trump being House Speaker when he can't be the House Speaker?
Well, I don't understand that, why we would push a candidate that cannot be speaker right now. But, you know, that's their fight. It's not mine. But I'm focused on who can be our speaker next week. That is a valuable endeavor over the next couple of days. I'm going to meet with every candidate that throws their hat in the ring. And I want to make sure that we get united next week. We do it quickly. And we have a lot of work to do.
Certainly, that is true. Of course, it is paralyzed right now. Congresswoman Nancy Mace is going to be a busy.
Well, here in New York, Donald